Hello, I'm Nigel Sinclair, the Vicar of St Margaret's here in Horsforth, and for my storytelling I've come into church because I wanted to have a look at the stained glass window behind me. That is a window that has Jesus, the Good Shepherd, in it. I've chosen this spot in church because the story I'm going to read to you is about another shepherd. It's a story written by an Australian called Andrew McDonough, and the story is called Cecil, the Lost Sheep. Cecil, the Lost Sheep. What sort of animals does this man have? Does he have rabbits? No, he doesn't have rabbits. Giraffes? Well, he might have giraffes, but they don't get a mention in this story. Sheep? Yes, he has sheep. 100 sheep, including Cecil. One day Cecil was daydreaming. Boring, boring, boring. All I do is hang around with sheep, eat grass, wander down to the river for a bit of a drink, and eat more grass. Maybe I could run away and get a bike, or join a band. Cecil looked to the right, Cecil looked left, and he jumped over his rock and hid. From behind the rock he snuck behind the tree, and from behind the tree he ran over the hills, all the way to the mountains. Yes, the mountains. When he reached the mountains he discovered they were high and steep. But Cecil was not deterred. He began climbing higher and higher, and it got steeper and steeper, and steeper. He climbed and climbed until he could climb up, and he couldn't climb down. Cecil was stuck. Dear. Cecil sat on the edge of a ledge and started thinking. I could shout for help, but what will happen if the shepherd finds me? He might whack me with his big stick, and then grab me by the leg and drag me home. Bump, bump, bump. And then he'd tie me to a tree without any dinner. Meanwhile, back home, the shepherd was counting his sheep. 1, Terry. 2, Kevin. 3, Bronwyn. 4, Lucinda. 96, Meredith. 97, the other Meredith. 98, Amir. 99, Amelie. 1, 2, 3, 4. 96, 97, 98, 99. Cecil is missing. Oh dear. The shepherd ran to the rock and found hoof prints leading behind the tree. He ran behind the tree and found hoof prints leading over the hills. He ran to the mountains, yes, all the way to the mountains. The mountains were high and steep. The shepherd climbed higher and higher, and it got steeper and steeper. When he thought he couldn't climb any further, he wasn't sure if he could climb back down. But then he heard a noise. Baa! Baa! Who was there? It's Cecil! Cecil was saved. What did the shepherd do next? Did he whack Cecil with his stick? No. Did he grab Cecil by the leg and drag him down the mountain? Bump, bump, bumpity bump? No. He was so glad that he'd found his lost sheep that he put Cecil on his shoulders and carried him home. When they got home, did the shepherd tie Cecil to a tree without any dinner? No, of course he didn't. Instead, he threw a huge party, and everyone stayed up way past their bedtime. Cecil, the lost sheep, had been found. And that's the story. of Cecil the sheep. And I hope you enjoyed that story, and I hope that you stay safe and never get lost. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.